G'day mates, it's the Doctor here, and welcome back to another episode of Card Talkers. This is a series where I talk about cards that I've bought recently, or traded recently, and share stories about them, like if they need a reprint, or a retrain, or why did I get them in the first place. So, without further ado, let's dive right in, pun intended. So, right here we have number 72 Shogi Rook. The only way to get this card was either through eBay, which I got it from, or a manga reprint, or the manga printing. And the thing about this card in particular is that it might have been good back in the day, but today, the fact that it requires your opponent to specifically have a face-down card and a face-up monster, I think that's a little too specific, and I think they can reprint this card as a common. I was hoping they would actually print this in one of the Battles of Legend, like Crystal Revenge last year, but that didn't come out to be. So yeah, to complete my numbers collection, I decided to get it off eBay, and well, I'm just about finished with the Number Hunters collection. There's the folder right there. And what's next? Well, I decided to build a collection of Lost Art cards, so I'm going to make a video about this when I get more of them. And I've also done something, I'm not sure how many people are doing this with their Lost Art collections, but I'm also gathering like the censored version of cards, which thankfully I have a lot lying around, because there's been so much censorship when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I got Winged Dragon of Rush Sphere Mode. On the one hand, I'm kind of happy to get this, and, well, just adjusting the focus there. Well, as you can see, it's a bit damaged, and though the seller was nice to offer a discount, I only said $1, because, well, I wasn't sure about it, but, yeah, I definitely should have asked maybe $3 or something, so, yeah, I got it for $9, could have asked for a cheaper price, because, well, if it's reprinted, I'll probably get another copy of it. Hopefully it's also holographic, and yeah, there's another spot right there that's a bit damaged. But here's something surprising. One day, I found a 2004 Korean printing of Flying Kamakuri 1. I have no idea how this ended up at my local store, and yeah, it's in very good condition, almost like straight out of a pack. Like, look at that. So, yeah, I don't know how a card from 2004 ended up, let alone a foreign version of a card, ended up at one of my local card shops, but yeah, I had to get it. And how is it in such crisp, clean condition? I don't know. But now we have Tour Guide from the Underworld, and a funny story about this card is that I saw it on a website that was selling it for $13, but the seller, not the same seller as before, but this seller offered $5. So yeah, I'll pick it up for $5. So that's a lot cheaper than $13. But yeah, look at that Duelist Saga rarity. I wish they did another Duelist Saga, or they could still do it. The Saga continues or something, and they give us this rarity again, because they gave us so many cards in that set, from reprints to original cards. I don't know how many were OCG imports or TCG exclusives at first, but man, what an amazing set. I bought several Duelist Saga boxes because it's such an amazing set. One of my favorite sets from all time. And now we have some other older cards, like some of the Cyber Girls. So, believe it or not, Cyber Girls and Cyber Angels are completely different decks. Both of them were used by Alexis, and I think this is some of the easiest retrains they could do. And yes, I did discuss it in my retrain video with Greiken, but yeah, nice to have the original. And speaking of lost art cards, like with Hades, all the Cyber Girls have been censored. So, if they were to do lost art cards, like retrains of all the Cyber Girls from Tutu, Gymnast, Prima, and these three, and then release Lost Art cards to go along with them, similar to how they're doing Trap Tricks, but I think Cyber Girls might be a little less controversial. Yeah, that would be a brilliant way of selling the Cyber Girl retrains, and provide more main deck support for the Cyber Girls, aside from the ritual stuff. And they could also do something with based on the number of monsters the opponent controls or monsters on the field. So a lot they can do. There is so much they could do with Cybergirl retrains. But yeah, check out that retrain video, please. And now we have Sea Dragon Lord Gashionodon. And I'm not sure if I call this a misprint or a miscut, but as you can see, it's more leaned towards the top right, and there's more space on the left and the bottom of the card. But yeah, this is another card I talked about in the retrain video, and I'm only noticing it just before I started recording that notice there's like a beam coming across on the top left. Like, do you see that? That's so weird. I never noticed that before. Is that, I don't know if I call that a foil shifting or something. But yeah, there you go. There's a good look at it. Yeah, maybe if I brought it closer. But yeah, I really like the design of Sea Dragon Lord Gashionodon. I just wish it was a better card. And of course, it got that classic style of printing for Yu-Gi-Oh! With the thicker borders and a shorter or smaller picture. But now, I'm going to show you something quite special. So, I got not one but two new folders. So initially, this was supposed to be like another binder to sell cards, but I decided to put some extra cards in here, like the goatee cards, and also Gate Guardian cards. There's another new card I got, Dungeon Worm. That's another retrain, but I hope to see happen in the next wave of Gate Guardian supports, because it's so cool that Gate Guardian is an actual deck now. And, well, what I may do, which I could, but what I should have done first, is that I decided to, when I got this other folder, I decided to put all my water support in here, when I should have probably done it with this one, and maybe this should have been the trading folder, but I don't know, maybe I'll let you guys decide. What would be better, to let this be like a collection folder, or to have it as, yeah, a bit damaged with the things there. Maybe they could have designed it better. But what should I do? Should this be like my trading folder, or should this be my other trading folder? So anyway, we're going to look at some water cards that I've gotten. And, well, just a sneak peek. We're not going to go through the whole folder, but have a look at these trio of cards. So, Crystal Girl, Cold Enchanter, Blizzard Princess, and, oh yes, I'm using a new phone now. I had to get a new phone. So, new phone, new camera. What do you think of the audio? What do you think of the video? The focus is automatic, I believe, as I've been trying out. So, I don't know, it seems alright, but what do you guys think of the quality? So if I tap it right now, yeah. But yeah, what do you think of the new phone that I'm using? So anyway, as I was saying, we have this trio of Crystal Girl, Cold Enchanter, and Blizzard Princess. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be the same character, the same monster, but at different stages. Kind of like a Legendary Fisherman down here. And then there's some really old cards, the Orca Mega Fortress and Torpedo Fish, and actually, there's a lost art of Legendary Fisherman, but notice he has the spear in his other versions. So there's Legendary Fisherman 2, Legendary Fisherman 3, and they're not having that lollipop end of his stick. I'm glad they kept that consistency, kind of like some of the female cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! They don't have, like, censored stomachs anymore. I'm not sure if Mermaid Knight was censored. Wouldn't be surprised. But, yeah, here's some more Umi cards. I only have one copy of Abyss Shark and Crystal Shark. And over here we got some of the real Yumi boss monsters. And there's a baby version of Daedalus. And the structure deck version of Daedalus. And Umi back in the day when Yu-Gi-Oh was magic cards. But notice that aside from Yumi and other decks like maybe, so what I'm trying to say is with field spells like Yumi, it's the only older card, like compared to Mountain or Sogen or Wasteland. Like Yumi is like the only one of those field spells that is like a deck, you know? That's quite funny. But of course Legendary Ocean would build around it. But even then, it's like retrains of the field spell as long as it's treated as Yumi, you know? But I don't think they've done that with other field spells, like the old ones. And then there's some vanilla normal monsters. And this is another card that I got. And as you're about to see, there was a guy that was selling a bunch of cards, and as long as it was for $5 or less, he would sell them for free. And so, got a copy of Mythic Water Dragon to go along with Mythic Tree Dragon, which were towards the end of Zexal era. And I think this card, I finally figured out the purpose of, what do we call this? Card of Thorn, the Hidden Gem of Seafront. And, whoops, camera? Yep, there we go. Alright, so I do have some control over the focus. So, this card can support earth or water monsters, but, I don't know. It's so weird, this weird little card. Like, what is this for? What is this card? What is it meant to support? It's a rock typing, so not a lot of water rock monsters, but it can work with Mythic Tree and Mythic Water Dragon? That's so weird. They've never done, like, other Mythic Fire Dragon or Mythic Lightning Dragon or something. Anyways, a few more cards to talk about, like Rio's cards from Zexal and the Snow Dragons, back when they tried to put in ice counters, like even a Cold Enchanter has ice counters. They never really did anything in the game. It was a gimmick they tried testing and then they dropped it, and yeah, water reptiles and bears. Area, or the retrains of her, the white fish monsters, which, if Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be rebooted today, the Society of Light would undoubtedly use these cards. Obviously they would. But look at all this. I decided, this guy was selling a bunch of Marincess cards, and why not? I'll just get a bunch of Marincess cards, and now I can fill up entire pages. I did not know that Marincess had so many cards, but it's one of those decks that's released in high rarity, and then they decide to, well, I guess they realized that the deck wasn't as good as they were hyping it up to be. Like, that could be a Twitter thread for MBT. Like, how many decks have Konami released that are in high rarity? I guess Infernoids and Dark Lords might be a good example, but Infernoids were good, just not the best. Decks that were released in high rarity, but they don't turn out to be as good as you expect them to be. And, yeah, I do have another Marincess right there. Like, see, that's what I mean, that they've stopped censoring the stomachs or the torso, the waist of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sheilas. Yeah, but I'm gonna go more about that in my Lost Art video. But a few more cards to discuss, some random Zexal fish monsters, because, well, there were a lot of fish ones, but these two look so similar, like they're going head to head with each other, because you got like a purple background or purple seafloor, and then the top of it you see the surface of the ocean. Very similar looking. And Eagle Shark and Panther Shark? Like, what? But that's gonna do it for my card collection. So a lot of cards I bought, from Marincess to the Cyber Girls and Lost Art cards, number cards. And what did you think about it? So yeah, I'm not sure how much I want to pursue Lost Art, because Exodia pieces are really expensive, and I'm gonna have to get some of the erotic cards that I'm not too proud of, like the Trap Tricks, if I want to complete the collection. So maybe get a few and then maybe drop it. But we will see what happens. And until next time, take care, mates.